So Dell sent us a laptop, this one. Dell Precision 7750, and you all know I'm not a specs guy, which you can tell from our other camera reviews or other gear reviews. All I really care about is what the thing in question accomplishes for you or what problem it solves, and this solved plenty for us. I will say that this does have an insane amount of RAM with 120 gigs of RAM. It also has an Intel Xeon processor and the NVIDIA Quadro RTX 5000. Obviously, with numbers like that, this is screaming fast, and though we aren't usually gearheads, this has made our workflow a whole lot better since Josh is no longer on a 6-year-old MacBook that crashes on him every hour. Now, overall, our workflow has been completely different this year for obvious reasons, and though over the last 2 months, Josh has been working at my house, right now, he's quarantining. Everything's fine, it's just a situation of being extra safe.
Oh, Jesus.
But because of all that, I thought it'd be a great time to answer a question that we've been getting often, and that is what our workflow is like during this whole time of working at home. So that's what we're going to do. But before we do, Black Friday is right around the corner, and like every year, we are doing a massive sale. This time on the 27th, it's gonna be on all our digital goods on the store. For the first hour, all existing assets are gonna be 70% off. All new assets will be 50% off, and after that, it's gonna be 60 and 40 for the rest of the day. So mark your calendar for November 27th and check the links below for more details. But right here at this desk is where I've been making Film Riot all year. This is where we're shooting right now. It's where I edit, and both Josh and I have been on laptops this entire year. His laptop is the one that's been causing us the most problems, so sadly, he gets the new one and I'm stuck on my old one. But on my desk here, I have one of my favorite things. That's the Lacy 6 Big. And actually, let's pause for a second, because every time we show gear or software, people say it's one big commercial. Yes, Dell did send us the laptop, but they aren't giving us any money, and everything else we're talking about in this episode is because it's a part of our workflow. The companies have absolutely nothing to do with this episode. We are not getting money for it. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
The Lacy 6 Big is a 48 terabyte external drive. It's crazy expensive, but for the constant work that I'm doing, it's a lifesaver, super fast, and the RAID setup gives me peace of mind. Then I have these Mackie studio monitors, very cheap, but really solid, especially for the price. They are 150 bucks, so you are getting what you pay for to some extent, but they have been getting the job done great for me. I do miss my Atom audio speakers at the office though. I'm running these speakers off my Rodecaster, which I keep connected to my computer as a controller and for the podcast that we do. Then my Rode Procaster mic and an ultra wide. I went for this one because of the price and to have more screen without taking up a lot of desk space. It is 350 bucks, but for an ultra wide, that is very cheap. But that's my entire post setup and pretty much where I spend 90% of my work time, since if we aren't shooting, I'm either in post or writing. And over here is my favorite thing in this corner. I call it my wall of Riley, since my kid is always bringing me drawings and deciding where they should go in the wall. It's pretty much the greatest thing ever. Now, to shoot this specific setup, we have crammed in this corner right here in front of me our Blackmagic Ursa 4.6K G2. In front of that is this portable teleprompter setup I got specifically for this room. I just toss my phone on right here and I use the app Prompt Smart Pro. And what I love about this app is that you don't have to control it. It scrolls your script as you speak it. It definitely can be glitchy at times and get frustrating. So if any of you know of a better app that does the same thing, please post in the comments below and I'll love you forever. Overall, it is solid though. Now, we've talked about the lights in this room a few times before, but I do have my 2-foot Pavo tube right here as my key, then another in the back there and one in the bookcase, and a Came TV light behind the monitor right here. But that's it, that's the entire setup for this. I will say, one of the things that I love most about shooting on these Blackmagic cameras, we do have the 4.6K G2 and the Pocket 4K, which we use for sketches, cutaways, or for Josh to take when we're in different locations like we are right now. But it's the fact that you can record right to a hard drive. So we have this little SSD drive and we record right to it, and I just find it so much more convenient. Hard drive wise to work off of, again, I'm on my 6 Big and Josh has his own external drive that he works off of, and then we combine them them in the end. Workflow wise, when we're in the same room, we have the same things on both drives, so we can easily just share projects. Like with our last episode, we were running behind, so Josh took one half of the episode and I took the other. Then we combine and finish in the end. It makes for a super quick workflow in this setup. Of course, at the studio, we do have our NAS that we're all working off of, which makes it way easier, but with this home situation, it's just an entirely different beast. Actually, another thing that's great about recording to the drive with the Blackmagic cameras is we can keep the laptop with us and pop that footage in to test anything we need as we go, which, because of how fast that we're shooting this show, just always moving, mistakes happen very easily and we don't often have time for redos. So this is often a must, especially for VFX when we aren't entirely sure that it's gonna work the way that we hoped. And it is another place that the Dell has been massively helpful. Shockingly, it has been faster than the beefed up desktops we have at the office. And similar to why I love mobile filmmaking, like we talked about last week, is technology has just gotten to such an incredible place where with this small laptop and a pocket-sized camera, you basically have a mobile film studio. It's insane, and in this current climate and how we've been doing the show at home and on the move, it lets us carry light and move fast. I just really love seeing year after year things get smaller, faster, and more reliable. I love the idea of removing all the extra bits and bobs that get in the way and just stripping things down to the bare minimum while not sacrificing quality. It's really exciting stuff. But in post, we are of course working in Premiere and After Effects, but the two things that keep us moving during all of that is Frame.io and Slack. Slack is how we stay in constant communication and paste quick files like thumbnails or small bits of audio. Frame.io is how we pass big files back and forth, and of course, how we give each other notes on things, especially since you can use that Frame.io extension right inside of Premiere. It's crazy useful, but our edit flow usually, if we use the iPhone episode as an example, is that Josh will start in on cutting the stand-ups and slotting in the B-roll while I cut the montage or sketch for the episode. So that opening montage of shots. Now, once they are all cut, something we've been doing recently is nesting all those talking head bits. This is always the backbone of the episode, so it's always done first. Then by nesting it, we can grade it in that nest, replace audio there, since I do like to do my audio polish in Audition. And if any changes are needed to that core, it's really easy to just replace or correct, and it keeps the timeline clean. Then another big asset for us is Envato Elements, which I did show on another episode recently. We've been using it for years. It's just crazy helpful to get little animations or polish when you don't have time to do it yourself. And this is another place where Dell has been very helpful. With our other system, these templates can brick wall everything a little bit. It reminds me of keying on my laptop in 2009 all over again, but the Precision 7750 has been stupid fast, so working with all of that has become a lot less frustrating. And finally, once all of that is complete, our last pass on the episode is music, usually from MusicBed or Artlist, and then we're done. To export out, I am still using H.264. We've toyed around with H.265, but it's done some odd things to our footage. We are constantly testing and trying things out, but for now, we're still in H.264. And that brings us to another place the 7750 has really helped out, and that's with exporting. The Dell exported out this entire episode in 5 minutes and 20 seconds, whereas the old system at 5 minutes and 20 seconds still had an hour and 20 minutes because it froze trying to export it out. So we had to redo it. But when we did redo it at the 5 minute and 20 second mark, we still had 1 hour and 27 minutes left to go. So that's a ton of time we're saving and exporting. And sometimes that makes a really big difference because we'll often find issues as we're trying to upload the episode and have to go back and re-export. So having that speed is really excellent. But that has been our workflow, a little chaotic at times, but we have it mostly smoothed out until Josh is quarantining in his apartment again.
Oh. It's like I'm really outside.
But I'd love to hear about your workflow. If there's any massive time savers that could help us or others, post them in the comments below. We're always trying to learn more and build to a tighter, smoother workflow. All links to everything I talked about are in the notes below as well. And of course, don't forget about Black Friday coming this Friday. And until next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.